Oh baby, if you are a vintage lover, if you are a grandma core girly, then you are going to love today's episode featuring my 95-year-old grandma's treasures. All right, say hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
There, she did it. Welcome back to Laugh Cry DIY. On this channel, we usually do DIYs, fun home decor, but today we are continuing our series where we come and visit my 95-year-old grandma and see what her incredible mid-century modern house has to offer us. How do you feel today, Grandma?
Oh, I feel pretty good.
Grandma, you're technically 95, but you're almost 96. Do you want to claim 96 today?
Sure.
So this is my grandma, Eleanor. She lives in the same house she's lived in since 1960.
66.
Since 1966. It's an incredible mid-century modern museum. So in previous episodes, we did a full mid-century modern tour of Grandma's house. I will link that episode below. We also did an episode where we remade all her little garden gnomes. That was a really fun one.
Yeah.
And today we're visiting her, and I thought it would be fun to go around and show her some of her own treasures. Because when I come to visit, she doesn't realize that she has so many amazing vintage pieces that the girls just like you would love to see. So I thought we could do a little reverse antiques roadshow and show Grandma her own treasures and maybe even have you guess how much they're worth nowadays. What do you think?
No idea. No idea. That's really amazing.
So I've gone all around the house and I have peeked in cupboards and I have spotted some of my favorite treasures that I wanted to show her and maybe get the backstory on if you remember where you got it. Do you think you'll remember where you got most things? Not at all.
No.
Well, I did a deep dive and I dated some of your stuff, so maybe it'll bring some of the memories back. So, are you ready to tour your own house?
Yes, I guess I am.
All right, let's get started by heading to the kitchen. All right, here we are, me and my sister Ingrid, in Grandma's lovely kitchen. She has this incredible mid-century hutch, and on that hutch, she has a few things that I always have my eye on. Starting with these beautiful mid-century little swan holders. Grandma, do you remember these? Do you remember where you got these?
Can't remember.
These are these beautiful little tiny mid-century swan planter candy dish holders. I love, she has a set of 3. One is larger than the other, and it's perfect for little treats, little candy. Oftentimes coming over, I feel like you always kept little candies in here.
Yeah.
But I think they are so beautiful. And guess what? I know how she got them. Because if you can see below, it has a green Lenox mark. This is part of your wedding china set.
Oh.
You can see here, this is part of the Lenox china mark. It's a green stamp with a wreath around it. These pieces were made between 1930 and 1950s.
Is this Lenox?
It's Lenox china. Do you remember getting this china set for your wedding?
Well, I mean, now that you talk about it, I can begin to...
Now we remember?
Yeah.
Well, you have a lot of pieces of this. She has the full set. You have
Coffee
plates,
cups.
she has coffee, she has these adorable little swans, as well as the other thing I wanted to show you, which is, Vanna White, please. This is another incredible piece of MCM Lenox ware. It is a little wedding basket because it has these 2 little sides. It's so cute. It has this little handle. Do you remember this?
Vaguely.
I'm sure like many brides, you got a china set and then you didn't really use much of the pieces, right?
No, that's right.
Let's see if we can see how much this goes for these days.
How much do you think this is worth?
Maybe $25.
$25, let's see. Actually, not far off. Well, some of them go for $60.
$60.
And people are looking for replacements for this exact vintage set, but this is beautiful. And I'm gonna guess if any of my viewers have more context about Lenox china, you can probably share that, but those are really cool. Now let's see how much the swans are worth.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm gonna say $30 each.
I'm seeing $85 for the whole set. Ooh.
$85.
Grandma, did you know you were a millionaire? You're sitting on all of this. Ooh, somebody is selling this one alone for $85. What's funny is I see these in the thrift store a lot, different versions of like the little miniature swans. And I always want to get them, but I always think that grandmas are just the best. So, all right, moving on. We're gonna look at more kitchen treasures. All right, next up, we're going up high for some dinnerware gold in the form of, ooh, Mikasa, late 70s garden bouquet print dinnerware. A complete set. All right, Grandma, do you remember where you got these plates?
I'm not sure. I could have, it was through the stores.
Yeah, you would have bought it new at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was made from 1976 to 1982. You can see on the back, we have our vintage Mikasa print as well as the garden bouquet stamp. It is totally beautiful, totally in perfect condition. We got bowls, folks. We got salad plates. Grandma has a full complete set. I don't think this woman has ever broken a dish in her life. Everything you own is like pristine and complete. And this is a classic late 70s pattern. And in fact, last time we focused on a lot of her like 50s, 60s stuff, but today we're gonna get into the 70s because she has a lot of kind of late 60s, early 70s groovy stuff around. But I love this set and it brings me so much joy. And every now and then I will see like one stray plate in the thrift store that is this pattern. And it always makes me think of you.
Oh, yeah, I have not seen this pattern anywhere else.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Now you have to go to the Vintage Girls to get it. Okay, now I looked up, to get a complete set, it was $70 for like one little full place setting.
Oh,
Basically just
just
for this.
one.
Yeah, people like to pay a lot for these because they like the vintage patterns, and also a lot of stuff was just made a lot better back then. You know?
Yeah.
Very durable. Obviously, this has had like 50 years of dinners served on it.
And this never faded.
Yep, never faded, never scratched. So A+ Mikasa, great job, Grandma, for keeping these around. All right, next up, we're gonna continue our dinnerware party and we're gonna look at some very cool, groovy cups. Truly, this cabinet is the portal to the 1970s because we have two amazing Mod Fun stackable soup cups and these 1970s NASCO stackable cups. All right, Grandma, tell us why did you get these?
Well, and I thought it might be handy to have just two of those, and I needed some
Yeah,
coffee to,
Yeah.
some soup.
yeah. So these are really groovy soup cups,
These are tea.
and these are really amazing tea cups.
I like color, and these are tea for tea, and it makes it nice. And if everybody has one of those, and
Yeah, everyone has their own artful personal cup.
Yeah, I love these. I love the stackability of them, which I feel like people don't really make these kind of like stackables so much anymore. And I love the color and pattern. I mean, these are such cool, groovy patterns. Do you remember buying these?
yeah, I mean, it came in a,
Whole little set?
yeah, and I haven't broken one yet, so thank heaven.
Again, Grandma's flex for everything. I haven't broken one. So I looked these up. These are like late 60s, early 70s. And these ones are early 70s as well. You can tell by these incredible color schemes, these incredible patterns. But I just love that everywhere I look in your house, there's a secret little hit of color and pattern that, again, has not been broken. Do you have a favorite of these?
Kind of that.
Ooh, Grandma likes the grape one the most.
Of course, the wine.
Yeah. Okay, how much do you think girls are selling these for?
Oh, about $5 or $10.
$36. She's rich, people. She's rich. And for these guys, people are selling these for about like 20 to 30, but more a complete set. These are so cute though.
I think I have about 7 of those.
But don't tell people you're gonna get robbed by me and Ingrid. All right, now that we've priced those, we're not done with color and pattern because you have more treasure in your kitchen that you don't even realize is sitting right behind you in the form of everyone's favorite vintage find, which is
Oh, those are
vintage
over.
Pyrex, baby.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
serious business.
This is serious business, Grandma. All right, what do we have here, folks? We have a gorgeous set of 70s Pyrex. Look at these colors, people, including this pattern, which is the Verde Square Cinderella. Any idea when you got this?
A long time, long.
I can tell. We can tell by these incredible color schemes. This pattern was made between 1968 and 1972. And I'm gonna guess you went to the store and you got this set for sure in the 70s because I'm guessing you were doing a lot of entertaining back then.
Yeah, I did do a lot, and I did all that.
All the baking, all the mixing, all the chips, all the cool parties.
Yeah, those days are over.
Well, we're lucky you kept these incredible treasures. Do you know that this type of Pyrex is like the most collectible thing to girls. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
People love, you can't even find this in the thrift store because everybody takes it. And oh my gosh, look at this fun little stripe. This one isn't Pyrex, but still, what a fun, kicky little stripe there. But the color scheme alone on this is just so classic. What would you bake in the 70s? Like what kind of things did you like to bake?
Bread, yeah, something with tomatoes, something.
Little tomato dip, salsa? Something fun. You did a lot of entertaining throughout the years.
Yeah.
Well, something funny is that I actually have a Pyrex pattern from the 70s that I collect too. It's from the late 70s. It's my mom's pattern. But now we know that Grandma's is the Verde square. So again, Grandma, thank you for keeping these. Thank you for not breaking them.
I don't on purpose.
You're just so,
Naturally careful.
yeah, you're so naturally careful. But yes, these are so groovy. Okay, we're taking a break. Grandma's calling her friend, so we're gonna go around and show some other quick things around the house. Now, we've been looking at a lot of vintage, but let's talk antiques, okay? Grandma has this incredible, epic, antique steamer trunk. One of my favorite things is the metalwork on it. It's just so cool, so detailed. And I think about whoever had to make all this hardware, and this is really cool because not only is it a cool, historic, pretty well preserved steamer trunk, it's actually the steamer trunk that my grandfather's family brought from Greece to America when they immigrated in the late 1800s, early 1900s. It is so hefty, but it's in pretty good condition. Obviously, it's still been used to store bedding and stuff like that, but it's really cool. It's a really cool piece of family history. And I just can't believe that people traveled with such formidable and heavy pieces of luggage. Oh, look at this ironwork. And I often think about cool things we could maybe do to this, but it's so antique, I kind of don't want to touch it. But it's super cool that we still have it. Okay, so Grandma's actually still on the phone with her friend, which is a perfect time to show off more of her art. In our first home tour, I mentioned that Grandma didn't start painting until she was in her 60s, and she painted so many paintings. In fact, I went around and I counted 34 of her own original paintings in her beautiful home. So while she's on the phone, let's have a mega major Grandma gallery moment. All right, Grandma, next up, we're not leaving the kitchen because we have something else to show you, okay?
Oh,
Are you ready? What we have here are these beautiful atomic Danish design mid-century salt and pepper shakers.
Yes.
Do you remember where you got these?
No.
Do you remember what year you got these? No, but you've had them always?
I always had them and they were up there.
Yeah. Don't they look like little alien spaceships?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
These are a pair of Zealandia Danish design. This is classic mid-century atomic design. And can you guess for how much people have these listed for?
Say maybe $19.
Do you know that these are listed on Cherish right now for $225?
Oh my God.
Can you believe it?
No.
These are highly collectible mid-century because they're stainless steel, they're Danish design, which was very popular at the time, very fancy, and they are in perfect condition. Again, this woman has never broken a plate or scratched an item in her life, and they are so, so beautiful. And honestly, they do look like their own little sculptural works of art, don't you think?
Yeah, they do.
I would almost use this as a little bud vase if I had this, but these are your beautiful and very valuable salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah, so.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. We have made it to the office where you have more and more vintage items that you don't realize, including this absolutely adorable little vintage Boston pencil sharpener. It's a classic. This belonged to my late grandfather. Look at that. Heavy, firm, wood veneer, good engineering, solid. These go for, I looked it up, between $20 and $50.
Oh, wow.
Highly collectible by vintage desk enthusiasts. Are you okay? Are you
What would you have guessed?
Can you believe it? You're sitting on gold, Grandma. You didn't know you got a gold mine. This broke her, folks.
She's crying.
This broke her, folks. We're done. That's a wrap on Grandma. All over this Boston. What a beauty. What a star. What a glamorous object. All right, moving on. And this will be the last thing we show you today because it is actually the most priceless, most special, most sacred object to me. Do you know what it is?
No.
All right, we'll show you right now. All right, Grandma, it's been quite a tour. Thank you so much for letting us look at all your beautiful vintage things. But the most special, sacred, and amazing thing in this house is actually this beautiful print. This is an amazing piece of art that is also a relic of our family history because Grandma actually wrote a memoir called Eleanor's Story about her experience growing up in Berlin during World War II. It's an incredible memoir. Her and her family were so lucky to survive World War II. Where did this print hang in your room in Germany?
Right over my bed. I would find it after a bombing and find it underneath the bed and pull it out and back up again.
This was Grandma's kind of guardian angel. Yeah. In fact, the damage on the print is from shrapnel during a bombing, but it stayed, it survived. Her building survived the bombings and it made it back to America. You're just about 96, so I think she's been looking over you a long time, huh?
Yes.
So thank you, Grandma, for again letting us go through your cupboards and your home and letting us share the most special things in your house with my lovely subscribers. So with that said, I don't think we can beat that, but thank you guys for watching. I will link Grandma's other videos below. I hope you enjoyed this little walk down memory lane, and I hope you enjoyed learning about your own stuff. Did you have fun?
Yes, yes, I did.
Great. All right, say bye, Grandma.
Bye-bye.